Well done, Andy. All right, some of the geography stuff that I was talking about. There's some amusement here. So this work was led by Lewis Mitchell, who's from Australia. He was a postdoc for 3 years working on weather, climate stuff, but we lured him into doing some fun things with Twitter, and that's, of course, what he does a lot of now. He got a job back in Adelaide. So, Lewis, yes, this was some early work just for fun. This is like taking Manhattan and blocking it and looking at all the tweets in here to see what was going on. And so the happiest place was near Strawberry Fields, I think, like the John Lennon's memorial here, near the Hayden Planetarium. So this was actually just a blog post, right? This wasn't a paper. We didn't quite go to that level. And it got a whole bunch of press. People got excited about this. Some weird things happened. Like this was very strange. This is in Times Square. There was an ad for this Jamaica holiday thing. I don't know what was going on, but it's like, right? It says down here, this is happy and sad with the University of Vermont. I mean, and we didn't. This is not our finding. First of all, this is wrong, right? Right, Times Square is the happiest place in New York. Just not even close to true from this very rudimentary thing that we did that was, not even really weird. That blog post got like hundreds of thousands of views or whatever. I mean, this is pretty budgy. I mean, it's down here. It's not super great. There was some other work done along these lines looking, I think, just at emoticons at the time. And it ended up finding the most negative place was over here near Hunter College High School, I think it is. And it looked like it was a high school, right? So that got a ton of press. And the high school's like, right? So it's just like this miserable place in Manhattan. But it turned out, and you'll be really careful, it turned out that it wasn't in the high school, and it was just one account that was tweeting like mad next to it. So they had to kind of walk that one back. That was unfortunate. I mean, it's a funny business, but you just look at the thing and see if it makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, we didn't really even go on with this. I mean, we zoomed out from that to what we call the geography of happiness, and this was a nice thing where we started to use these color schemes where there's really just a few, it's categorized. When I'll show you the lexicocolorism, which I know we've talked about, we'll look at that again. We moved to every state is just a square or a hexagon. They're really powerful ways of looking at maps, I think, these days for lots of things. It had its own little Twitter account. It actually would tweet, but it sort of fell apart here a little because Twitter changed the way their geotagging works. It went from just it's long lat, isn't it? Lat-lon, right? It's like Big Bang. It sounds better to say that. Right, that thing we talked about, like the ordering of vowels. But it's XY, so okay. Which right? That was a problem that's in Twitter. It's sneakily done, isn't it? They do both ways? Oh. So in a tweet, in a JSON, you'll see lon lat and lat lon, potentially. Depending on what they have. If they have all the data there. It'll be in two places and it'll be differently ordered. Or different tweets with different time. Oh, from different, they change it. But that's right. It's labeled, right? What's that? It's labeled, right? But you could get the geo blob. Yeah. Only if you go into documents. It should be, lat equals whatever, right? Like, you don't have to worry about it. But no, it's just like blob. Like something, comma, something, right? Yeah. It's really hard to do all these things well. There's no question about that. It's really hard, and Tyler discovered that. That was a kind of a shocker, actually. All right. So we're gonna have some fun things here. So this is. So as I said, we haven't been able to keep this thing running because we haven't really adapted to the new version, but it is here. It's a little bicycle. Did you see that? Andy really worked on that. So, right, here's the ranking for them, and of course you can change from year to year, and you can play around with those things. So it moves a little bit. Let's see. Oh, we're not so good that year. Vermont's here, right? We've got the word shift, so you can compare so you can actually access it here or here. If you want to go in, you can find Vermont here. Let's go to 2013, so we can feel better about ourselves. I think so. Yeah. So 4 there, and then it should stick. Yeah, it sticks. And so this is some nice things, features, right? So you can compare 2 states if you want, or Vermont. It will do nice things in terms of selection this way. You can swap who's being referred to, right? Yep. What you actually see with Vermont compared to the rest of the US, right? So it's got this little bar here says that it's more positive. And that's because of 2 things. One is, yes, it's using more positive words, but it's actually using negative words less. So we've seen this in various things, as Vermont's like just more closed down emotionally. It's not as expressive as other places. And you see these words here, right? It's a lot less swearing, at least on Twitter.